you can fix my powers. Maybe I can use them to help you. Keep Cipher out of your head.
You think you've seen everything Gen V has to offer. The gore, the chaos, the teenage god complexes. But Season 2 is quietly setting up something far deeper, something older. And it all starts with Marie Moreau's blood. Because while most of us saw her as the tragic orphan turned hero, there's a growing theory that Marie isn't just another Compound V experiment gone wrong. She's the living continuation of Thomas Godolkin's most classified project. One that Cipher, the mysterious figure pulling strings behind the scenes, has been waiting decades to find. Let's unravel it, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up. The evolution of Marie Moreau. When we first meet Marie, her powers look like a curse. She doesn't control blood, she bleeds it. Her trauma is the trigger, her pain the weapon. From that first horrifying accident in the bathroom, where panic turned into murder, Marie's life became an experiment in control. But Season 2 has started showing us something new. Her power is evolving, not just in strength, but in complexity. She's not simply bending blood anymore. She's listening to it, feeling it. Her connection has gone beyond physical. It's becoming psychic. Every pulse she senses, every vein she commands, it's as if she's reading life itself. That's not just biology, that's consciousness. And here's where things start to line up with Project Odessa. Project Odessa, the lost chapter of Vought long before Godolkin University became a campus for super influencers. Thomas Godolkin himself wasn't just building an empire, he was chasing immortality through consciousness.
Welcome to Hero Optimization!
Declassified notes referenced in Season 2 mention something called Project Odessa.
He spearheaded a research program called Project Odessa, and we think that's the main reason he started the school.
On the surface, it was a research initiative exploring telepathic stability in supes. But the deeper logs, the ones buried beneath layers of encryption, describe something else entirely. A cellular bridge between the psychic and the organic. In plain terms, Godolkin wanted to fuse psychic power into biological matter, to store consciousness in living cells, to make thought itself transferable. Sound familiar? It should, because Marie's blood seems to respond to psychic energy, like it's remembering something. What if her powers aren't random? What if her DNA was the missing piece of Godolkin's original research, perfected decades later by Cipher? The man behind the curtain, Cipher's silent war cipher, arrived at Godolkin like a whisper. No one knows where he came from. No public record, no Vought file, nothing. But what we do know is this. Cipher isn't just manipulating minds. He's reprogramming them. His ability isn't telepathy. It's psychic mimicry. He absorbs fragments of another person's consciousness, their memories, emotions, and even instincts, and weaves them into his own. That's how he reads people so perfectly, how he knows exactly what they fear, what they want, and what they'll do next. But this kind of power needs fuel. And that's where Marie comes in. Cipher isn't just interested in her strength, he's interested in her blood's memory. Because, according to internal Vought logs leaked during Season 2, her genetic pattern contains neural mapping anomalies, signals that behave like recorded consciousness. In other words, Marie's blood doesn't just carry life, it carries echoes. Thomas Godolkin's echoes. The ghost of Thomas Godolkin. Now here's where this gets dark. According to archived Godolkin files, his psychic enhancement trials weren't abandoned. They were erased. Every record, every subject, and every strand of data was scrubbed from existence. But the names of 2 early test subjects survived under redaction. The initials? MM and CR Marie Moreau. Cipher. If those files are real, and the timestamps match the same timeline as early Compound V offshoot experiments, it means both Marie and Cipher were unknowingly born from the same project. They're not enemies, they're counterparts. Cipher's ability to take consciousness and Marie's power to store it. Together, they complete the very equation Thomas Godolkin spent his life chasing. And maybe that's what Cipher's plan has been all along, to unlock Godolkin's mind from within Marie's blood. The blood that thinks in episode 4 of Season 2, there's a blink and you miss it detail during Marie's panic episode in the lab. As her powers surge, blood samples around her start vibrating, even those sealed in glass containers. But here's the thing, not all of them do. Only the vials marked with a faint O, Project Odessa. The moment lasts maybe 3 seconds, but it's enough. Marie's blood recognizes its own origin, or rather, the consciousness imprinted into it. Thomas Godolkin didn't die. He transferred fragments of his consciousness into an organic host medium, a psychic backup drive made of engineered blood. And Marie, decades later, became the first stable vessel capable of activating it. That's why Cipher needs her. Not to kill her, not to control her, but to wake up the buried consciousness inside her. Because once she fully evolves, she won't just bend blood, she'll bend minds. The secret war between minds. If Cipher succeeds, he won't just unlock Godolkin's consciousness, he'll absorb it. He'll become a hybrid, Godolkin's intellect fused with Cipher's mimicry and Marie's biological link. A walking embodiment of every experiment Vought ever buried. But here's the twist that no one's talking about. What if Godolkin isn't dormant? What if he's already awake, whispering to Marie from within her own bloodstream? Think about the hallucinations, the sudden surges of empathy, and the dreams where she sees corridors she's never walked. Those aren't random trauma responses. Those are memories, inherited from the consciousness embedded in her blood. So when Cipher calls her the key, it's not poetic, it's literal. The Resurrection Protocol. At its core, Project Odessa was never about enhancing psychic powers. It was about resurrecting the mind, to transfer a consciousness into living tissue and preserve it indefinitely. Cipher's obsession with Marie isn't about domination, it's about access. He needs her blood to complete the resurrection sequence, a process hinted at in Shetty's recovered notes. When the host's biofield harmonizes with the stored psychic signature, awakening is possible. Marie's evolving empathy, her ability to feel other people's pain and life, is the synchronization key, the final step to making Thomas Godolkin's mind live again. But there's a hidden danger. If Cipher connects with her at full capacity, her consciousness might not survive the merge. She could become nothing more than a conduit, a living vessel for Godolkin's rebirth. And that's what makes her story tragic. She's fighting to become her own person, while her blood is literally built to become someone else. The blood war to come. So where does this lead? If Godolkin's mind reawakens through Cipher, Vought gains something even Homelander can't match. A god who understands both the psychic and the biological. A being capable of rewriting Compound V at its core, turning every soup into part of a single hive-like consciousness. Imagine it? No more individual egos, no more rebellion, no more free will, just Vought, everywhere. But the real twist? Cipher might not be loyal to Vought at all. His actions suggest something deeper. Maybe he's trying to finish Godolkin's work against them. A super-created revolution designed to wipe out Vaught's control by merging all minds into one unified consciousness. It's utopia and horror all at once. And Marie, she's the linchpin. The Blood remembers as Season 2 nears its end, one question defines General V's future. Who does Marie become when she finally understands what she is? Her blood isn't just a weapon, it's history, memory, a map of every secret Vought tried to bury. And somewhere within it, Thomas Godolkin's voice is waiting, whispering through the pulses, calling her to unlock what she was designed for. Cipher knows it, Vought fears it. And Marie? She's standing right at the edge of godhood, about to learn that the greatest danger in this world isn't what Vought creates. It's what Vought forgets to destroy. The takeaway, so maybe Marie's story isn't about control after all. Maybe it's about memory, about how trauma, legacy, and power are all just forms of what we inherit, biologically or psychologically. Project Odessa wasn't an experiment in telepathy. It was an attempt to cheat death through empathy, to make consciousness itself eternal. And now, through Marie, it might finally succeed. The question is, when the Blood remembers, who does it remember first? Marie Moreau or Thomas Godolkin?